All right, welcome. Excuse me, back everyone to Lakers latest. I hope you guys had a good weekend. Hope you got out and did things if you were around or if you had any plans. Hopefully everyone had a good time. As always, coming to you from Studio City, California, where it's about 65 and breezy. It's nighttime now, so not going to be too hot or too cold, thankfully. The rain is finally over in LA, also thankfully, because that was just like miserable. I'd say I didn't even want to leave my house because it was just pouring every day. But I think that is mercifully over. But yeah, hopefully everyone had a good weekend. Definitely watching football, watching basketball. I'm happy college basketball is back. I'm not I just love watching college basketball. It's one of my favorite things. I also went to the Rose Bowl Stadium for the first time. I went to UCLA Washington, which was calling that a football game would be that would be kind of a reach. That was just an absolute massacre. Wasn't even one of the worst fake field goals I've ever seen in my entire life. But it was a great stadium. I will say that it basically I got the all inclusive package, so I was like in the club seats. The food was awesome. Had like a dessert bar and everything. You just grab and go with the drinks, and yeah, it was a fantastic experience. So I love that. But yeah, let's hop right into it. The Lakers played the Jazz today, and they hung on to win. Barely hung on. Luka Doncic closed out with 2 free throws. But they won 108-106. And yeah, it was kind of a back and forth battle. If you look at kind of the quarter scorings, 30 quarter scoring, 32-30 Lakers, 30-25 Jazz kind of cut back into in the fourth, and it was back and forth. Third, back and forth and fourth. Again, the Jazz are not a very good team. They've obviously lost Walker Kessler for the year. Not Luka. Lauri Markkanen, who's their best player, is obviously a fantastic player. I've talked about him being, a potential trade acquisition for the Lakers. I'm not going to go into that now. I still think he would be a very good potential trade acquisition for the Lakers, though, and I think he would fit very well with the guys they have on the team now and for their potential future timeline. But yeah, look, again, the Jazz aren't very good, but it is road. It is a road game, so you got to take those as you can. But they found a way to make it work. They won. They squeaked it out. They won 108-106. They're now 12-4 through 16 games, and I actually have to look to see because obviously I know. Honestly, I haven't looked at standings in a minute. But you would have signed up for 12-4 through 16 games, especially without LeBron. Yeah, they're tied for number 2 in the West now with that Denver. Houston is right behind them. They're 10-4. They've only played 10 games, and the Thunder are just playing at a level that's they're 17-1. It's outrageous, but yeah, look, the Lakers snuck out versus the Jazz again. Not their greatest game, but at the end of the day, especially on the road in the NBA, you got to take what you can. You got to take what you can get. You don't want to go too much. You don't want to be too complacent. No road game is easy unless you're going against, the worst of the worst. Which the Jazz aren't good, but they're not the worst of the worst. They're not the Wizards. You know what I mean? But again, this was obviously LeBron's second game of the season, and I'll touch upon that in a minute. But look, at the end of the day, like they're 12-4 and they're stacking up wins already, and that's the most important thing. Like people are like, "Oh, a game in the beginning of the season isn't as important as one at the end," and yeah, from perspective of like obviously the one near the end, they're going to be probably a better chemistry, be more comfortable with each other, kind of closer to that top peak performance. But these games still matter. Like I said, especially and again, the Thunder are a juggernaut. Like it's going to be very difficult for any team to beat them. And the Lakers probably will potentially need to make another move. But these are the types of games that you do need to stack up against bad teams, and they've done a pretty good job of that so far. They're obviously getting very close to fully healthy, especially with LeBron back now, so that's a good thing. So got to win the games that you're supposed to win at the end of the day, and it might not have been super pretty at all times, but they found a way to make it work. So good on them. Now let's talk about LeBron, who obviously played in his second game this season, and he played. Take a look at his stats real quick. 17 points, 8 of 18 from the field, 0 4 from 3, 6 rebounds, 8 assists. And yeah, that's like 17, 8, and 6. LeBron, I mean, again, the guy is, 40 years old. So it's just insane that he's even able to put up this caliber of play at this age. But the thing that stuck out to me for LeBron wasn't the points or whatever, it was the minutes. Played 34 minutes, which was the third most on the team behind Reeves and Luka. Again, that it's not. I don't want to say it's wrong because they hadn't played in like three days or something. So it's more something to keep a close eye on. So he's played 30 minutes. He's played 34 minutes. Is there going to be a plan to try and limit those minutes, or is there going to be a plan for him to maybe play 30 minutes a game? Like, is this 34 because they needed him? I think it's both a good. I don't want to say it's a bad sign. It's a good sign that he's able to play 34 minutes and he feels comfortable out there. Part of me is like it's a bad sign that he has to against the Jazz, but again, that's just gonna happen sometimes. You're not gonna be able to play your best basketball. You're gonna need everyone to kind of pinch in a little bit. I think the bench, no one really stood out on the bench, but altogether they still scored 21 points, so you still added a little bit of something. But LeBron, 34 minutes. It's good to see him out there, but like I don't know. Like I know it's LeBron James, but there's still something about it that kind of just makes me uncomfortable having him play consistently in that 30 to I would say 30 minutes. Like obviously he's not at this point I can't see him playing under 30. But 34 plus, I feel like we can try and keep him in that 30 to 32 range consistently rather than 34 plus or any games where he might have to play 35 to 40 plus, preferably not until the playoffs. But yeah, I think it's going to be important for them to manage his. I don't want to say manage his minutes. They don't need to manage his minutes if they don't want to, but just to keep a close eye on how much he's playing, not to overextend him, especially potentially consider sitting him on a night of a back to back. All these things I think, are things that they should at least take into consideration. So, yeah, we'll see what happens, but still a solid second performance from LeBron, from 40-year-old, we have to remember. All right, let's talk about Luka. Luka was a little, solid game from Luka today, a little bit up and down. He was 10 of 24 from the field, 3 of 12 from 3, 11 rebounds, 8 assists, 6 turnovers. So the turnovers are not where you would want them to be. But again, the thing with Luka is he's so good. Like obviously, I know he's a good 3-point shooter, but again, 12. You take away the 12 field goals, and he was 7 of 12 from the 2-point field goals, and it's like sometimes he's much more efficient than that. And I don't want him to always fall in love with that three. It's always going to be there for sure. Like the step back three, that's a patented Luka shot. But sometimes just don't fall in love with it. And I mean, this isn't just Luka. This is the NBA as a whole, to be honest with you. Everyone falls in love with the 3-pointer. So it's probably more of just the way things are now, more than anything. But again, still a really solid game. He finished it, had 2 free throws to end it down the stretch. And again, maybe it wasn't as efficient as you would like, but 33, 8, and 9 numbers are still there. Impact is still there. So yeah, Luka just continues strong performance. Shout out Reeves too. Reeves had 22 points on 7 of 17 from the field. 1 of 8 from 3, so he also did not have a good game. And again, that's where it's like, I understand you need to shoot 3, but Reeves and Luka were 4 of 20 from 3. And you got to shoot threes, but sometimes get to the basket more, do stuff like that, because 4 of 20 from 3 is obviously not, it's just not what you're looking for. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Shout out Reeves, though, still a solid game. And let's end it on Marcus Smart. So Marcus Smart, if you look at his stats, they don't really jump off the page. He played 17 minutes. He was 2 of 6 from the field. All of his field goal attempts are 3-point attempts, so he was also 2 of 6 from 3. He ended up with 6 points, and he had 1 block, no steals, no assists, no rebounds. But you can kind of see his impact on the court because he had a team high plus 18. And for the record, the second highest was plus 5, Luka Doncic. So that kind of, and again, it's not always going to be that way, but that just shows you that, A, the type of player he is, that, like, it's not always going to show up on the stat sheet. He might not have, 13 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists like he will some nights. Some nights it could be 6 points, but plus 18 like speaks for itself, especially when it's that much more than anyone else. That's the impact that he makes defensively. That's the impacts that he makes on the guys around him. So yeah, just shout out Marcus Smart, another good win. And yeah, it was a good one. They figured it out, and yeah, I'll catch you guys later.